So lately, it feels like everyone's been talking about AI. I've been using AI to benefit my life in a variety of ways, and not only just general life, but also as a day trader. And I know you might think of like those AI bots that trade for you, or like those things where you upload a screenshot of your trade and it tells you TP and stop loss. I'm not talking about any of those things. Honestly, I really don't think either of those things are a good idea, but I've done something totally different, right? I've been quietly using AI in a way that I haven't heard anyone else using it in the same way as me, right? I've always been a computer nerd. I honestly have some friend who's so deep into AI and he's so plugged in and like he's been putting me on a little bit, so I'm ready to drop the sauce onto you guys. So essentially, I've built a custom AI assistant that knows me inside and out. It knows all about me as a person, me as a trader. It knows every single trade that I've taken for the past month. And that's all the data I've given it, right? Like I could have given it more data, but I've suddenly set it up recently and I want to like overload it with data. But it's honestly given me some good insights. Like in my trading journal, I have notes for every single trade I've taken. It's read through all my notes. It's noticed patterns. It's given me insight, and essentially I've told it like, hey, I want you to act as a professional trading coach. So that's what it does, right? So essentially, my AI assistant, it's a professional trading coach. It's also just a general assistant, right? Like it remembers certain things I need to do, right? Like if I have certain deadlines, certain things I should be doing weekly, right? It can even automate certain tasks. Like for me, I'm a content creator. I post videos online. I live stream 5 days a week. So on YouTube, I have to schedule my streams Monday to Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I can have Claude go in and do that for me because not many people know this, but if you install the Claude Chrome extension, you can allow it to navigate the internet and do things for you, right? So if there's certain tasks that are just like brainless that you do every single week that are regarding your trading or regarding your general life too, you can start automating some of these tasks. And time is money, right? So like let's say even if this AI bot isn't directly helping you with your trading, if you're able to free up time from other mundane tasks, that could still give you time to focus on higher ROI activities like focus on your trading, focus on these things that actually matter, right? So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how mine works, all the benefits it gives to me, like a demonstration. I'm also going to give you guys a whole rundown of exactly how you can get one of these things set up for yourself. It's honestly not that hard. Full explanation of A to Z of how to set this up. And then we're going to do a conclusion of, at the end of the day, is this worth it? Am I just gassing this up for a video or is this something that can actually benefit you? But keep in mind though, the sky is the limit, right? Like this is AI, it's fully adjustable. Just because I have mine set up in one way, you could even get ideas from this and make yours totally different, right? But with no further ado, let's hop over into Claude and I'm going to show you exactly how I have this bot set up. So this right here is what my Claude Assistant looks like when you first pull it up. So at the top, it says what we'd like to work on in this project, right? So I can give it any prompt. I can ask it like literally anything and it'll do whatever it needs to do. To show like past outputs. Like, so it's giving me like certain files in the past. Like it's giving me like a weekly stream schedule, stuff like that, right? A strategic report it's given me, right? Um, you can also favorite conversations, so like see it's just starred over here. It also shows me the recent conversation I've had with this like assistant. And so it has persistent memory. So essentially like in the top right you see instructions. These are the instructions it remembers across all conversations. I didn't actually sit here and type all this out. It's essentially learned this like from conversations with me. I also told it to ask me any questions it needed that it wanted to learn about me. And we pretty much worked together, like me and Claude, to set up this assistant. Under that, it says scheduled, so you can set up any scheduled tasks. I have a bunch of ones paused, right? But you could set that up as reoccurring, like see it could be run every Saturday at whatever time. And for the context, I essentially gave this like one dedicated folder on my computer as my Claude Assistant, and inside that folder, Claude can do whatever it needs to do to store files, right? So inside this directory, if I click down, right, it shows like it made me a strategic report. I guess it just didn't sort that for some reason. Claude.md, which is kind of like that persistent memory file. Workflows, trading, socials, research, reports, memory, context, and it's sorted like this is its own memory, right? This is its own brain. So it's like I haven't told it how to do any of this. It's kind of store stuff. See, like in trading too, it even separates into my journaling, order flow stuff, prop firm stuff, ICT concepts, right? It's essentially like this is a little assistant brain I'm working with over here, right? And memory, it's also got different files in the memory. I'm not too sure exactly how the memory stuff works here. All I know is I give it access to a folder and it does whatever it needs to do to get the task done inside that folder, right? But That's cool though. It gives it persistent memory. Because keep in mind, if you're using something like ChatGPT, I know it does have some memory, but it's very limited, right? With this thing, it's gonna know everything about me. It's gonna know all of me as a person, all of me as a trader, the specific results of all my past trading months, and it can keep all that context for every single response, right? So essentially, I'm gonna give it this little prompt. I'm gonna tell it, hey, I'm filming a YouTube video on how to illustrate my Claude assistant, aka you, and how you benefit me. Give me a rundown of everything you do for me, how you benefit me, and also just give me a piece of advice for my viewers, right? So this is the first example of how this thing works, right? So you can see it on the right side. If it were to set up any tasks inside here, that's what that progress bar is, because sometimes it makes like multi-step tasks for complex tasks. And that instructions I was talking about before, right? Like this is everything you gotta know about me. It keeps that in mind going in the conversation. If there was any context, right? So if it needs to reference any files, any tools, that would show up down there. Because like I mentioned before, this thing can go into my browser and do certain tasks for me, right? So what this assistant does for me, right? So from Claude's words, right? It essentially says it functions as a second brain for my entire business, not just a chatbot, right? It's been loaded with full context about my trading methodology, my content pillars, my affiliate setup, my schedule, my goals. Every conversation just skips that re-explaining phase and straight to the useful output, like I was just talking about, right? So it knows specifically my content strategy, like how I make prompt content. I trade with bookmap and ICT concepts, which is not something very many people do. It's helped me script and write different hooks for videos, right? And it knows my voice. It's gone through my Discord community. I've had it write messages for my Discord community. It knows my tone just from going through my YouTube and all that. So it knows when it writes things for me, it doesn't sound like general AI. Like, I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. There's certain things you can read and they probably sound like AI, but it does a better job than other AIs. And also those competitor analysis. So like obviously I love these guys, but at the end of the day, right, they're channels that are doing better than me that I would like to take tips from. So it's that I track what creators like Tyler Trades and Jesse W. You could do this for whatever area of your life you're in, right? Like let's say if you have competitors in trading, your daily life, whatever your hobbies are, whatever matters to you, right? You could have ChatGPT, I'm sorry, not ChatGPT, Claude, your Claude assistant. You could have it go to the internet, do research for you and see if there's any holes. Because I literally told it one day, find out where my blind spots are. Like, what would you never find out from a conversation with me? Go on the internet and research, right? And it came back with some pretty good findings, right? But also, in terms of this video, one of the most important things, right? It says trading journal analysis. I've reviewed all 27 trades in May, flagged psychological patterns, and generated a full coaching report with actionable adjustments, right? Because I've essentially told this thing, hey, I want you to function as my professional trading assistant. Think as such, right? So at certain days of the week, it's acting like a professional trading coach, right? And it imports, like I mentioned before, everything on my trades. Essentially, I recently have been using something called TradeZella, and I've been allowing it to, I give it the link for my TradeZella, it goes into my Chrome, it kind of takes over my computer real quick, it goes into my journal, it clicks around, it looks at my notes, it generates whatever information it needs, it saves all that in directory, bing, bang, bomb. I don't do shit pretty much, right? I just tell it, hey, import the stuff, and I just observe it. Because I don't fully trust it, where I wouldn't walk away from my computer while it's doing stuff really, but I watch it, right? It's kind of scary to have AI take over your computer, right? But also business tracking, right? So affiliate income, YouTube analytics, LLC expenses, the gap to replacing my part-time job, right? This thing is pretty much my financial advisor, right? I'm making a joke here. It's not actually my financial advisor, but and also workflow automation, right? Like scheduling tasks, file automation, Discord strategy, content pipelines, right? It's essentially saying things that would eat hours, I can handle in minutes, right? So, pretty much advice for my viewers directly from my AI bot, right? The most important thing is not the AI, the context you feed it, because you can see this thing has a whole directory with a boatload of information on everything about me. The like too long didn't read of what it's telling you down here is the AI is only as good as the questions you ask it, right? So it says most people use Claude like a search engine. They ask a question, get an answer, close the tab. And it's saying they're leaving so much value on the table, right? Write a detailed project instruction file, describes who you are, what you're building, just like I showed you, your constraints, how you like to work, literally anything you want, anything that's relevant. Be specific. The more detail, the better, right? The more detail, the more useful it becomes. Build memory files over time. Every single insight, every time you talk to it, every data point, it's going to save it. And sometimes I even remind Claude, I'm like, hey, you took note of that, right? And it's like, no, you're right, I did. Now I'm going to save this. It said almost treat it like an employee onboarding, right? Give it a full picture once and it pays forever, right? So I literally think of this to a point, almost like an assistant, right? So I'm going to give you guys an example of how this thing actually imports data from the internet for me, right? So I did set up a scheduled task. The easiest way to do that is honestly, like I could do it in here. I could start a new conversation where I just go to projects. Then I could click Claude Assistant. It's going to bring me back to here, right? And I could be like, hey, can you go to TradeZella in Chrome and update my trading history in your memory? Do nothing if you are up to date. So now it's working on it. So it's kind of booting up right now. It's thinking. It should use the Chrome extension. Once it starts using that Chrome extension, yeah. See, it says Chrome browser 1. It's thinking about it. It takes a second to see, yeah, connecting to browser. I don't see it in my browser just yet. Waiting here. I can show you. Oh, here we go. Okay, I'll show my browser. So essentially, I was in a new tab. See, we opened up this trading history. This is a group, it almost calls it, right? So, and I'm not gonna lie, this thing isn't perfect, right? Sometimes it does make errors. Honestly, I might have gotten logged out. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why it's getting stuck up here. Hopefully, it's gonna click that go to dashboard button. Here we go. Yeah. So you can see it does work through errors. Occasionally, it tries to go to a link that's incorrect. Yeah, so now it's in my TradeZella. You can see it's working through my TradeZella. When I go back to Claude, you can see it thinks, right? So it says it's not logged in. I need to log you in first. I'm assuming that was one of the issues at first. And then it says, let me click go to dashboard. So it worked through the issue. Now I'm in the journal. Let me go to recent trades. I can see the data. Let me scroll down. It says the calendar confirms May 28th, May 29th, I'm sorry, has no trades. No color highlight. My memory already runs through May 28th. You're already caught up. Nothing to add, right? So now you've literally just watched Claude go to the internet for me and import data, right? So I've been using TradeZella. You don't necessarily need to use TradeZella. You could use Google Sheets. You could use Notion, right? And then you come over here to this context and oh, I guess you got to come here actually, add files, right? And then you can add, download that Google Sheet. You can add that Google Drive, right? Add that Notion document, right? Add that connector, right? Whatever you got to do. So just give it access to whatever it needs to do. And also, that's how it does that research I've asked it to do, right? So obviously, if you're not journaling in the first place, that's an issue. But I get it. I've been there before, right? If you're not journaling, one last quick thing. If you're not doing this already, you can go into Tradeivate and download a CSV, which stands for comma separated value file. Essentially, you can upload that CSV, which is essentially your trade history. So it's like the bare minimum of amount of information you could give it on your actual trading, right? But it still will have enough information where it knows all your trades, it knows your average risk reward, your win rate, that type of stuff, and it could give you input based on that. And then from there, you could give a context on certain days, right? But it's a good starting point, right? So now I want to give you guys an example of how to actually build one of these things for yourself. So I'm going to start a new project now. So the first step in making your own AI assistant is going to be downloading Claude. So the web version is not going to work. It is a free download. So I'm going to put the link down in the description for Claude. So you just click download for Mac OS or Windows, or whatever platform you're running, right? It's Chat, Cowork, and Claude Code all in one place. So we're going to be using Cowork. So I'm sure you guys can install that. Not that hard of a process. So once it does get installed, right, there's this Chat tab, Code, and Cowork in the top left. So click on the Cowork tab, then you see like new task, projects. You want to go into the projects tab inside Cowork. From here, you want to click new project. So we're going to start from scratch. We're going to title this, you can title obviously yours whatever you want. I'm going to make this test. I'm not going to give it any instructions because we're going to set it up together. And if you wanted to give it any files, just to give it base memory, you can do that. But and you can give it a directory, right? So I have a Claude projects folder. We're just going to put it in there and call it a test folder. So essentially inside of this test folder, Claude can do whatever it wants. So now should appear test. If you ever want to remind yourself, you see in the bottom left of this chat, here we go to projects, right? I'll click new task inside projects. Here's all the different projects I have, or I could just go down to projects and then click my test project, and then it's going to force me inside that test project, right? So I'll just say you are going to be my AI assistant. Learn everything you need to know about me. Misspelled assistant. It's okay. We have spell check for a reason, right, guys? But you're my Claude AI assistant. Learn everything you need to know about me. And like from here, just give whatever context, right? Like I am a day trader. I make videos online and I go by. No, I mean, I thought that'd be too specific. I'll just say I'm a day trader because that's what you guys really care about. I'm a day trader. I am trying to improve with prop firms. How about that? That's better. So it's working, it's thinking, right? So this Claude instructions folder is currently empty. It's like great to meet you. It says using ask user questions. So it's thinking, it's gonna ask me a set of questions to just ask me, right? So like what do you trade? Do you trade futures, forex, stocks, crypto, or something else? You can type here, right? As an example, right, I'll trade NQ futures, but use ES for SMTs. Next, or I could skip this question if for some reason. Where are you in your prop firm journey? I'm a funded trader. What's your biggest challenge right now? This isn't true for me, but let's say overtrading, right? It's creating a file, so it's creating the first file in this directory, right? So it's right in this file. I think is this intro Claude instructions folder yet? It made. Oh no, it made a memory called user profile, right? So it's starting to build memories on me. Here's what I've got. Did I misspell futures? No, I just looked too quick. NQ futures. I feel like the F not being capitalized threw me off. I use ES for SMTs, fund that prop, main issues over trading. A few things I can help you with. So it's even giving me advice already. It's like, hey, I can help you with a trade journal, a playbook to define your A+ setup, rules checklist, and post-session reviews. What would be most useful to start with, right? For example, I mean, I'm not going to go through the whole setup process because it would be very tedious, but I could at this point be like, hey, I want to import all my trades so you know all my trading history. I want to explain to you at what point in my journey I'm at. Give it some more context. Just pretty much like think like, what do I think this thing needs to know? And again, honestly, I'd recommend asking it a second time. Now that we've gotten to know each other, are there any holes in your memory that you have any questions where you'd like to ask me something to fill in any lapses in your memory, right? So essentially, you just keep going through these instructions, right? And then like I could be like, are there any scheduled tasks? Like what scheduled tasks would benefit me, right? It'll tell me the scheduled tasks. And after it gives me these, I could say to it, hey, help me build these scheduled tasks, right? Then once you've done that, you can go into the scheduled things and you could run weekly reoccurring things. So I need to give me like ideas for a daily brief, right? I could get weekly content ideas, right? So, yeah, those are the weekly reoccurring tasks. That was pretty much how to set it up. So a couple things to keep in mind. It can't take over your browser and actually go into Tradeivate. It kind of is not allowed to go into any brokers, which kind of makes sense. You don't want this AI just going in your like broker and potentially placing trades. It's kind of a scary thought. but it can go into a variety of websites. So now I want to do a quick wrap up, show you guys some of the actual documents this thing has generated for me. And at the end of the day, is this a waste of time or do I actually value this? So at the end of the day, is this worth it? So if you haven't picked up on the vibe yet, obviously I think it's so worth it. I can speak all day about this. I'm an enthusiast about this. I think it's such a benefit in my life. Like one of the examples is like look at this monthly trading coaching report it generated for me, right? It says May was a profitable month. You ended up X amount. And this is across multiple accounts. I trade with prop firms, but my win rate, it breaks it down by week. And obviously, it's not perfect. For some reason, I don't know why it's grouping the weeks a little weirdly. Like, but for some reason, it's not doing that. Obviously, I could correct it and would give me an updated report, but um, it's pretty much like reading through my things and it's saying you could have well, it said you acknowledge you may have left 4R on the table. I didn't leave 4R on the table. It misread my note. I closed at 2.5R. I could have gotten 4R. But it's recognizing when I have frustrating days, right? It's recognizing things you do good, right? It's also giving me 5 key findings, right? It thinks my stop loss is placement is costing me. I personally disagree, but it's interesting to hear a third person perspective, right? It thinks bookmap is really benefiting me lately. My I need a pre-trade checklist only because I didn't. There was one day I missed something that I really should have realized, but yeah. So it gives me this whole report, and like even above and beyond that, like it stores all these reports just in the outputs, right? So it gave me a strategic report for content, right? This is more geared at my content creation, but I wanted to show you guys how extreme this is, right? Like this report was based on live research on May 23rd. Gives me this nice little document. It's looking at my YouTube videos. It's saying, hey, when you make videos between 5 and 15 minutes, you only have 6 made, but you're getting this many average views, this many average subs, this much average revenue. It's giving me a sweet spot. It's saying which videos are doing good, which videos are doing bad, right? Like for example, it even points out that I dropped like an alpha trader first impressions videos very close to when the platform dropped. It literally point blank tells me to do more of that. It's giving me video ideas, like it's saying Tyler Trades. Shout out Tyler Trades. I mean, I like him, but he makes videos that are doing really well. So it's like you could copy his idea or do something similar to him, right? He has 2 videos talking about copy traders that have like 35,000 views or more. Action items, right? Blind spot, blah blah blah, right? It's sounding like I made 20K in trading. I have no video showcasing my 20K in payout proof. Blah blah. So you can see this is a literally crazy, and like I like how it even does, like it almost has like citations at the bottom. You know what I mean? Um, Bigger picture. It's just absolutely insane what this thing can do. It really is. It astonishes me day in and day out. Like and these are all tailored to me. Like you might look at some of this stuff and think, oh well, this guy's a content creator. I wouldn't need this. But yeah, you can make this thing tailored to you. And like whatever you need this thing to do for you, you can make it do. So yeah, that was pretty much my Claude assistant. So I hope you guys found some value with this. You're definitely welcome to try it out for yourself. Oh, and one last thing I forgot to mention with the setup is for it to work in Chrome, you just need to go to extensions, like hit manage extensions, go to that Chrome store and just install that Claude extension because otherwise it will not be able to connect to your browser. Forgot to mention that very relevant point of information. But if you watch this video all the way through, I really hope you're able to find some valuable information. I honestly think I dropped some straight sauce that literally no one else in this world is talking about. So if you did find some value, I would really appreciate it if you hit that like button. Put a comment down below with your thoughts. I am really interested to hear what you guys think about this, if I left anything out, any inputs. Also hit the subscribe button. I do live trade here on YouTube Monday to Friday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So definitely pull up, hang out with me while I'm trading. See me take literally every single execution in live time. But yeah, and also if you are looking for a prop firm to trade with, I know I mentioned prop firms. If you're not familiar with what they are, you can essentially apply to trade a company's money. If you do well enough and pass the eval, you get moved to a sim funded account and you could potentially get payouts. Look into it. I like Alpha Futures and Tradeify. Discount code TIMB272 always gets you the best current discount at both firms. But I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. Best of luck in your trading. Peace out.